What? You, shut up, don't get it, bam. And they all just go quiet. Why? Because they've seen what happened to DHB. Seen what happened to Corey. Corey's still shook. Imagine living like Corey. Imagine someone smashing your house. And then you can't big them up as much as you have. That's what he's been doing. And that made me think that the whole Corey situation was fake. That makes me feel like the whole Corey situation was fake. I reckon the Corey situation, is that why the DHB situation kicked in? See, I reckon Corey, DG, Dave had a lot more to do with DHB's house, and it's just being brushed under the carpet. And I know we all want to leave it. We all want to. Well, they want to forget it, and it's nothing to do with me really. But it is in the sense that I've just gone through 4 months of madness with all them creators, not just the stalker. You know, I had Corey, I had Dave, I had DG, all advancing what he's saying about me. I can't get over it, to be honest with you. They're going quiet, they're just trying to melt into other creators' platforms, and like they haven't done for me, especially Dave and DG the core. They're going on like they haven't done to me in my process and my freedom and my mental health and shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're just laughing it off like they've not done more. But things like I always preach, you know, if you're harming someone deliberately and that someone's not doing a thing fun, you're going to suffer for it. I'm not doing full wrong, and they're quietly trying to come at me when they feel like it. I know what's going to happen on the spot with these two. They're going to crumble right before your eyes, mate. Watch that. I can go to these venues, you know, where all these little loudmouths go on a regular basis. I just don't go. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know when you've got these daft fight promotions and you've got all these helmets on it? I can go there and there's not a single person in the room that can handle me. They can't tell me, get out. There's no one in there that's going to start coming at me having a fight. If they do, they're getting dealt with. Do you get what I'm saying with you? It's full of kids. Full of them. Look what you're watching. Look who the fights are between, and then look at them in their personal lives. Think about it. Every one of them are from drugs and drink, and that's what you're watching. Pissheads batter each other for a minute. And there's levels in there, like in that low level gutter thing. You'll have people paying for this event, and it's shit. But because it's got shit creators on there, they all want to pay into it. And that's the level you're at. You know, you've got other people that would rather pay the same money for a Dazzin event. And this is a different level of thinking now. You know, you're thinking down there watching that shit and them. And they're all thinking up here watching this shit and that. Different levels of being. You know, you're watching complete shit and they're watching professional stuff. Yes, Sarah Jane. How are you, Con? So look, I know what you might thinking, but you'll have people that'll watch me and we're a certain level. And then you'll have people that'll watch the stalker and they're a certain level. So the people that are in tune with me and talk, relate with me, we're here. We're at a conscious level here. Whereas anyone that's relating to that scumbag is here. Why? Because they're in tune with him. They can relate to him. If you can relate to that dirty mind and the actions and the behaviour patterns and how he's been all his life, well then you're on the same par as him. If you can't relate to that shit and look at that shit like, wow, that's messy, that's because you're on a bigger par than them. And you shouldn't be amongst this shit. So come away from it and put yourself over there in that space with these people that are going to elevate your consciousness. Don't sit in there and get dumbed down. Because that's what a lot of you are doing. You're meant to elevate with your consciousness, not sit there, absorb this bullshit. You're meant to realise, wow, what they've been watching for 12 months with this dickhead. You know, you should be realising now what you're looking at on camera is a complete failure of life. There's nothing there. Why are you watching them daily? What's catching? Again, a lot of them are watching them to watch them suffer. And that's their level of thinking. Do you get what I'm saying? I've got more impetus to hate and watch him suffer and feel great about him suffering than anyone. Because I think up here, I still think of how difficult it's going to be for this kid going forward. I'm still thinking about the troubles he's going to have to address going forward. That's just the level of thinking again. Do you get what I'm saying? Take me back 15 years ago, I'd probably been buzzing, doing videos on here. Yeah, you got what you can deserve, you little all that shit. But that's gutter thinking. You know, you're in the gutter when you're thinking like that about anyone. Just thinking about revenge and retaliation and all this shit. That's gutter thinking. You know, that's how the rats think. You shouldn't be thinking that shite. That's not good thinking. You went on YouTube and copied the video. Without you understanding it, your phone is a digital instruction book. And everything you want to know now, you're going to your instruction book to find out. When you never used to have an instruction book in your hand, you had different methods of getting your information. Now, you're missing the substance out of the process. So you're not getting the wisdom or the real knowledge. You're just getting instructions, bullet points, bam, 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 bam. It's Carter. So now you're all leading your life by an instruction book, and not just one, multiple. Oh, I need to do this. Khalib on top, hope you're good. Dee. So look, a lot of people are going into therapy, and a lot of people are getting placed in front of therapists, and 95% of them therapists have learned what they know from a textbook in a classroom. So now they're sitting in front of you that's dealing with severe anxiety and depression, and they're speaking to you like they know you because they've read everything from a book that can possibly happen to someone like you. Whereas people like me know exactly what you went through, and we've not read a single book about you. Don't know all about you. You sit in a room with me for half an hour and I can work you out like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't need to do a scale of 1 to 10 tests to see what's wrong with you. I'll be able to tell you straight away. You're either or you're not. It's all you need to know. You don't need to know what type of fucked it is. You don't need to know if it's ADHD, depression, anxiety. All you need to know is that you've got a problem and it can be solved or it can't. Start living accordingly, basically. Some mental illness you'll be able to conquer. Some mental illness, like this one I've got, you've got to learn to live with it. Like I was saying the other night, you've got PTSD. You could probably fix that. You can. You can conquer PTSD. You can get yourself back to a good place. CPTSD, that's a lifelong illness and you can't conquer it. You've got to live with it, and that's what I've got. So 8 years ago, 2018, it was PTSD. The shooting happened in 2018. CPST started developing. And because I haven't got the help in them years, it's got worse and worse and worse. And because I haven't known I've got it, when I'm being triggered on here, it's leaving me in a mess. For years I've been triggering myself without understanding. So when I'm going through podcasts, and I'm sitting on these podcasts, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, you can see me change. That's where I'm triggered into this mad space, and I'll come out the end of the podcast and only know the first 20 minutes what I've said. Won't remember anything else on the podcast what I've said, because I've been triggered halfway through it, and I just go into automating, like things you do automatically. But I'm not letting it change the course of action I'm on. I'm not letting it change my personality and my character towards good people. All of a sudden I've got CPST. It doesn't give me the right to be a cunt with everyone. It doesn't give me the right to be an angry, aggressive. And I won't let that happen to me. That only happens when you start taking medication to conquer it, I believe. That's when you get real personality shifts. When you're on this strong medication that they give you to just subdue what most people can't handle. It's not the images of trauma, really. Like this CPTSD, I don't get flashbacks of Craig being shot dead on my lap or nothing like this. Do you get what I'm saying? For me, it's just more not knowing, not understanding. Like PTSD, 80% of the time for me, makes me fast, gives me energy, makes me feel fucking great sometimes. Do you understand what I'm saying? But then sometimes I can hit the depths of depression, and that's 20% of what I'm going through now. Is an energy I don't know how to handle, and then the depression that I know how to handle. So I'd rather have, instead of 80% energy and 20% the dark place, I'd rather have 100% the energy and learn to manage the energy I've got. Because that's what it is. It's like a newfound powerful energy that you can't contain. And it makes your head think. It's hard to explain because I'm only just getting used to it. So I can't really give you the full, but I'll be able to in a few months. Why? Because I'm in experience right now, and I always gain knowledge from my experience and then share it. So a lot of yous cave in after a month. Why? Because your sleeping patterns been up, you're eating, you're thinking dead fast, and you can't handle the lack of sleep. So you're automatically, I want medication, and that's it. That you're on a different projectile dealing with it than what I am, not being on meds dealing with it. If you've started taking meds early in your diagnosis, you're not dealing with it, you're covering it. And you're always going to be not yourself, because that's what the medication's doing. It's altering you so you feel okay with what you're going through. Subduing all your emotions so you're not getting agitated easy and shit. Whereas me, although I'll have a little screw loose, I'm still me. Do you get what I'm saying? Although I've got a little thing going on there, it's not dangerous. Well, it is. But it's not dangerous to, like, the general population, your mum, your nan, your kids. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm a little bit tapped, but I'm harmless to you and your family. If you're on meds, you could have an episode and just go off and barn it in the town centre and just attack someone. This is when you're on meds. You're not in control when you're on meds. It's the meds that's on control of you. But you got to look at it. If there was loads of things different in my life, the CPTSD wouldn't be as damaging as it is. You know, I'm in unsecured housing. I've got this going on. I've got that going on. I've got this going on. If all that was dealt with, well then, there's a lot more space for me to handle what I'm going through. Do you get what I'm saying? So I've got all that to come going forward. You know, I can alleviate the stresses upon my life going forward, which will alleviate the pressure with the CPTSD shit. And I'll be able to handle it better. I'm handling it now, to be honest. I just don't know what to do with myself. And I've got all to do with myself, and that's part of the problem. You know what I mean? I've got loads of fun work ethic with no work. That's what it's like. And I have little ideas about doing things while I'm sat, because I'm sat on these screens. I'm sat on your phone sometimes for 9 hours a day. You know what I mean? I could be doing shit on here, making money for myself and that, couldn't I? But if again, I think that's something to do with my mental health. And it always hits me. It's like people start gifting me, and then I just start getting dead worried and go, don't gift me, stop gifting me, oh stop it. But it's a mental health reaction. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just how it goes. It's the way of being from the get-go. I've had people arguing with me because I won't let them gift me. I've had supporters falling out with me, fuming with me because I won't let them gift me. Honest, it's weird. And I'm not being ungrateful. I just feel I've just got this mad feeling, mate, where like I've give up so much. The last thing I'm giving up is me. It's weird. It's just, I can't explain it. Like, I'd like to be earning my own money. I'd like to be bringing my own revenue in, doing what I'm doing, employment, work, employing others, all this sort. I'd love to be doing that, but I just can't. And it's not that I haven't got the ability. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just that I haven't got the necessities to do it with. And I can't, it's just like getting hands out all the time without giving something in return. It's not good for me. It makes me feel less of a dad. That's what it does to me. It feels like I'm not being the dad I should be because I can't provide. And when I'm getting gifts thrown at me and that, it just makes me feel... Sometimes it makes me feel horrendous, and that's why I start screaming, stop. And then sometimes it's picking me up, because it's buying me a loaf of bread or shit, you understand me? But it's never been my aim to be on here and make money out of people. Ever. I've got involved, like all the other, I've got lost for a few months. On here matching, come on, gift. But I always have these moments where I step back and assess what I'm doing, how I'm behaving, what's my conduct like here. And I realise, what am I doing there? Because what you've got to understand, look, when I first came on, I was watching all these creators, and it was quite obvious to me that they're monopolising the top 3 spaces. So you'll have him, all gifting each other behind the scenes. And one week they'll make sure DG Decor gets there. And the next week they'll make sure Dave gets there. And the next week they'll make sure Wolf gets there. And next week they'll make sure Hardy gets there. But they'll do this behind the scenes and then split the wages. I'll give you £1,000, you get £1,000. And it'll be like that for years with them. So I was on that straight away. And then what I noticed then, under them, your Corys and your other people like this, they've absolutely got no chance at all of getting to the top 3, never mind the number 1 spot. But every Sunday, without fail, all these little horrible money grabbing rats, with the communities that they've established, which is kind-hearted people, the majority of them, they start convincing them, we're going for the number 1 spot, we're going to win it. And they'll go reset matches with the same people every night, getting hundreds of pounds. And they know you're not getting near the top 3. You're not even getting in the top 5. You know you're not. But you're telling your people, we can do this. Making some of your people believe that they can get you to the first spot and gift you. And this is what they're doing week in, week out. Getting gifted to the hilt, and they're not even getting nowhere on the rankings. They're not even interested in the rankings, are they really? They just want the dough, don't they? Half of them are sitting there now like they're entitled. They're sitting there now entitled instead of like appreciating it. Sit there like they're all gamers and, oh, well, you've let me down today, you never said nothing and we've lost the game, look, my win streak's gone now. What the fuck, mate? Yes, Insight Drop Media. Do you understand what I'm saying? What the fuck? Look at Dave. I know he's got a huge following of women that like that type of old, you know, pompous man. But look what you're doing with it. What are you doing with it? You've been on here for 5-6 years, getting £1,000 a week. Easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You're putting a bag of sand in your pocket. Why are you still living out of cars? Why are you still getting into Airbnbs? Why are you going from hotel to hotel? What's wrong with you? Are you just going to depend and be entitled to all this gifts, all your life, are you? Because that's how you're living. Got a lot of people saying that the devil dust. That's a big play in their lives. DG, Hardy, Dave, Corey, DHB, Ben, Scott, all of them, Evil Queen, Ems, all of them sniff the devil dust. All of them. On a regular. In front of yous. He's mad. He's come in here and say I'm on drugs. I'm the cleanest in this corner, mate. Honest to God. They come in here saying, look, you're charged up. No, this is just energy. This is mental health energy. It's nothing to do with drugs, mate. If I was taking drugs, you'd know. Why? Because I'd tell you. I'll tell you straight. If I was drinking every night, I'd go on drinking every night. I'd tell you how I was. Open book. Yes, Rachel. So it is what it is, mate. I'm not hating on them. They're doing what they're doing, and the way they're behaving, and the way they're treating people and doing shit is being judged, not by me. You know, if you're doing things wrong to good people, it comes back and bites you on the arse. And I'm not even, who am I to say I'm a good person? But if they can do it to a person like me, they can do it to any person. Yeah, well look at DG Decor. Let's focus on him for a little second. Ignore the trolls that are coming in now. Let's look at the true story of DG Decor on TikTok. This is how it went. I'll bastardise it so it's not long-winded. You had a young man with a business, a decent beard, a child and a house. He was on TikTok decorating people's houses, earning a good wage, doing shit. He started dying on him, so he wanted to galvanise shit. So what did he do? He dressed up as... Who was the first person he dressed up as? I think it was CLA. I think he dressed up at her and started taking the piss out of her for about 3 weeks solid. Ripping the back out of her. Clickbaiting to death. Doing all he could to get clickbait on the back of this bird. And after he destroyed her and affected her mental health and affected her process on here, where everyone was loving her, and stole half of her supporters, he then moved on to another creator and dressed up like him and targeted him for weeks. And then once he'd finished with that one, I think it was Mr. UK TikTok official or something, he jumped onto someone else and started targeting them, dressed like them, impersonating them, creating a madness for them. And he'd done that for a good 12 months to about 10 different creators. And that's how he established himself where he's at now. Since that, he's just been entitled. He's spared off on his kid, he's jogged his business on, and now he's just entitled. Isn't he? And every time it's going slow for him, he starts tapping into other people's lives again, because they haven't got longevity. This is what they start battling with. You know, they haven't got longevity. You know, you established yourself on shit. You established yourself on the back of other people. Downfall, if you like. That's not a long-term. That's not long-term benefits, if you get what I'm saying. You're going to crumble down here eventually. And that's what you're witnessing with them all. You know, they're all starting to die off. They're all starting to, like, slowly, people are slowly coming away from them. The gifts are going down, and it's definitely happening. You mightn't see it yet, but it happens dead. It'll take its time, and then overnight it'll just go. And they'll sit there, oh, I don't know what's happened, I don't know what's happened. You've seen the steady decline. People always refer back to the past and recognise where you come from, how you established yourself. You established yourself on the trauma of others. Again, this isn't hating, this is just stating how it is. This is how some people have manipulated TikTok to get where they're at now, to be entitled. You know, they're coming on now, expecting. You know, they're not coming on like, I'm going to put an 8-hour shift in here and try and make some dough so I can get my kid down here. Do you understand? They're coming on now. Oh, I'll go on for 2 hours, make myself a little 3-ton, and then get off. And then I'll come back on this evening, make myself a little 15-ton or something, and get off. Because that's where they're at now. And this thing where you're watching me have a match with him 20 times in the past 3 hours. This is me and him rinse and use. This is me and him taking pure dough out to use. That's not a competition. That's not a match the way a match should be played. That's me and my mate saying, let's get on and have a couple of matches and make a bit of dough. It's not me saying, right, let's go on here and press anyone in. Let's have a match with you. 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 No, we're keeping it in-house. We're not sharing our money here. We're keeping it in-house, our little team of boys behind the scenes. That's who we'll match with. We won't match with that kid down there. Why? Because he'll get some of the dough. Why when we can give it to Dave? Why when we can give it to Ghost? Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you're going on to the creator who you follow, and you're watching him every night, and he's matching with the same people every night, he's not floating TikTok. He's not experienced different creators. He's not experiencing different people with different lifestyles and different opinions and different judgments. They're just stuck in that little society of people that they know, milking the life out of TikTok. If you can do it, do it. That's on you. No, but I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just the way it is. Got Majestic saying easy dough, Darren. Yeah, but it's money without purpose, lads. And that's what all easy money is. It's money without purpose, mate. If you're sat there working your ass off for 18 hours and then get given £1,000, you'll appreciate it. If you're sat there for an hour and get £1,000 put in your lap, you're not going to appreciate it. So most creators used to do content and do positivity and do things and create, and they're doing a living for it. Now they just sit there and match him. There's no process there. It's just greed, isn't it? So easy money's not good, to be honest with you. It'd be nice to have, but it's not good for you. Easy come, easy go. And a lot of these kids are living like that, aren't they? So they'll spend 3 ton, 4 ton just on a weekend getting pissed and sniffing. 3, 4 ton to that woman there with 2 kids. Every week. Think about that, mate. They're putting it up the nose and in bottle and drink. And hotel rooms and holidays. Oh yeah, they might go out every so often and go, oh, look at DG, he's giving him £1,000 down there. Oh Dave, you're an angel, look what you've just done for that homeless man, you're giving £50. It's all ployed. I'm giving something back. You're not giving all back. If you was, 25 of your percentage every day would be going to that food bank. If I'm sat here making £2,000 a day, £1,000 of it's getting given away. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And you'd see it. I'd let you know. Obviously, I'm not going down that path. Everything I do, every bit of money I make, I will earn it. I will put my shifts in. I will distribute it right. It's not, for me, it's not about banking. My money does come in here and it does go straight back out here. I've done since I was a kid. Nothing's changed. So I'll earn dough here and it'll go wham, boom, straight away there. Even more so now because my kids are moving house with the mother. And it's me, really, that's got to get the house done. Now we'll do it step by step like any other normal family that's going through what we're going through. But anything I receive, it will be going on this. Do you get what I'm saying? Why? Because I want them to have the house they've been living in. It's full of damp. Windows don't shut properly. Radiators need bleeding. You know, just we've been waiting now for 3 years for this move. They finally got it. It's in the same area. It's not far from Liverpool. It's in Liverpool. It's not far from the mothers. So it's all there. She's got a good family and that. But again, me as a father, it'll be me in that house, painting that house. I'll be sleeping in this house till it's done, basically. They won't be in there with me. So as soon as they've got the keys to this Ken, I will be going with an inflatable bed, getting paint and doing every bedroom. And I'll have them done in like 2 weeks, all of them. And then I can get back here and relax knowing I've done my bit for this house for now, and there's more to come. I won't be living there, obviously, because I can't, can I? Due to the risk in that. So that's what I'll be doing in the next few weeks. Decorating my kids' rooms. You know, giving them the space they deserve. Like their own bedrooms now. Not all piled into one bedroom with the mother. Now they've got their own bedrooms now. The mum will have her own bedroom with her own tranquil space. You know, not kids' stuff piling up in corners and all this shit. So it's going to be boss for her. You know, because she's been stuck for 10 years in this gaff. And it holds a lot of like mad situations, you know, with her ex-fellas and shit. So it's nice to get her out of there and bang, get in there, crack on. Because my birds always had the, well, I shouldn't call me bird, to be honest. But my bird, she's got her aspirations in her, and she's just never been able to do them. Why? Because she's had the kids, and the dads haven't really played a part in them. They haven't, like, come here, let her go to college, let her, you know, get her life on track. So now she's got this move. I can appear 3 days a week, you know, because no one knows this address. It's in Liverpool, but Liverpool's not as much of a risk as you think it is to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, it's just the same risk in Birmingham. You'll have a few little dickhead drug dealers that don't like what's coming out of your mouth and they want to say something about it. That's what it is. But like always, even like 80% of the criminal fraternity now, 5 years ago when I'm screaming this shit, 6, 7 years ago when I'm screaming what I'm screaming, my narrative hasn't changed. Do you understand? They were all calling me wrong and they're all calling me this, that, the other. But here we are, close to a decade later, and they've grown up a lot, and some of them have had children, and some of them are looking now thinking, you know what, he's right what he's saying, you know. And this is why they leave me to it. There's loads of serious kids in Liverpool that appreciate and just leave me alone to get on with what I'm doing, because they understand there's a place for what I'm doing in our community. I'm the only one within our communities in Liverpool that is screaming what I'm screaming, you know. It's not, oh, I deserve credit for this. I'm just telling you straight. There's a space for someone like me in the city. Why? Because there's never been anyone like me in the city. Ever. You probably won't get another like me. You'll have repeats of him. You'll have things copying him. But you will never get a repeat of this. It's only ever going to be one Darren G, you know. Honest to God. A lot of what was different with me is I had nothing to lose. I had no kids. I had no business. I had no connections to these, that and the other. So I could scream, use drug dealers as scumbags. and not be worried about my house getting smashed up, or my kids getting targeted, or my house, my business getting set on fire. So I took that. You can't do fault to me. But all them lads that have wanted to scream and shout about that's happening with these rats, they've never been able to, because of the threat that comes from these groups. What threat? You've only got to look at what's happened to me in 8 years. You've only got to look at what the criminal fraternity have done to me deliberately in the last 8 years. It's not normal people in the public that target me. It's not, you know, it's police and gangsters that target me. And they have done for the last 8 years. No one else. Not the decent kid working on the site down there. Not the mum down there that works in the bakery and takes a... None of these have got a real issue with me. It's just the gangsters and the drug dealers that have had the problem with me. And they've... You know, when you go against a gangster in your local area, what happens to you? Right, so just envision this a second, right? Wherever you are, if you've got your local gangsters and your drug dealers and all this, what happens to that family that stands up to them? On your estate where you've had these drug dealers for 20 years, you've seen people challenge this shit. And what's happened to them? Their houses, they've moved out, the kids are being rushed and left in physical messes. You know, this is what it is. So that's off one family. If that kid on your estate comes out and upsets that one criminal family, they ruin him, sometimes kill him. I'm screaming at all them criminal families, not just one of them. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So you can imagine the comeback, can't you? You know the comeback if you stand up against one family in your community. You know what happens to that person who stands up, don't you? That's one family, one group. I'm screaming and shouting about every rat dealer in the city of Liverpool. The most dangerous organised crime groups you can ever come across in the city of Liverpool, I've been screaming about at the top of my lungs. And that's the threat that I've got from them people. But it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Honest. Why? Because I'm on the right side of what's going on in this process, mate. I'm doing the righteous thing and I don't care if I get killed. I don't care if I'm poor. I don't care, whatever. I'll go down as someone that was screaming about the most important thing when it comes to our communities. Call the other haters. All are. They don't do nothing. You've got all these people, scousers, on social media, staying in their lane. Just staying in that lane, not interfering with anything that's going on in our communities. Why? Because they don't want to damage the clique, they don't want to damage the sponsors, they don't want to damage this, the money orientated. Oh yeah, now they've got the money. Oh, they're being community orientated now. Do you get what I'm saying? But even then, if they're addressing knife crime, they're sticking to knife crime. If they're addressing the drug problem on your community, they're addressing the drug addiction problem on the community. They're not addressing the drug dealing problem on the community. Do you understand? So they're tapping into the areas that can bring them revenue and the space that needs addressing because it can bring them problems. They're not addressing it. So I could wake up tomorrow and go, hello, I'm in recovery. Do you want to follow my journey? Come along, follow my journey in recovery. And I'll be telling you my traumas. And I'll be telling you what I've gone through while I've been taking drugs. And I'll blame Tom, Dick and Harry. But I'll never say anything wrong about me dealer. I'll say nothing about my dealer. Why not? Was he good for you, was he, your dealer? Why aren't you screaming about your dealer that f***ed you up? Why aren't you telling all your people in recovery the main horrible person in your whole life was the dealer? Why aren't you exposing your dealer for what he's done to you for 20 years? Why aren't you encouraging all these people that are watching you go through recovery to stay away from dealers? I haven't heard one thing come out of your mouth on how dreadful these dealers are. But you're in full recovery, aren't you? Do you understand where I'm coming from, people? You know, the money driven. If they weren't money driven, they'd be addressing the problems that really exist. Not you going through an addictive recovery. The dealer that got you there is still dealing drugs on the estate where you started. That's what you should be screaming about. Telling the kids to stay away from that dealer. Why you've ended up in recovery. You had a tooth pulled, Darren? No, mate. I'm just not getting the pain off it now. I just delivered Choose a Life, Not a Knife. And if you watched it long enough, it went from thoughts of self-harm to telling kids not to play with knives, to telling kids not to play with guns, to telling kids not to deal drugs, to telling kids not to go near these organised crime groups. It's landed on, in the last 2 years, unsolved murders in the city of Liverpool. And the people responsible for these unsolved murders, 24, 25 including Ellis Cox. For these 25 unsolved murders in the last 10 years in the city of Liverpool, or let's say 15 years, sorry. It's organised crime groups that's responsible for them. The same organised crime groups that were killing young men in 2004 have still got their hands in killing young men in 2025. So the organised crime group that came to kill me in 2000 have gone on to drop 2 or 3 other people in the last 20 years. Do you understand what I'm saying to you now? And this is what's happening. And that's why I've had loads of rats coming at me. Because I'm screaming about these types of murders and the people responsible. I'm screaming about the drug dealers that are selling your 15-year-old daughter ketamine and cocaine. I'm screaming about them all. No one else is.